This is a hand. It's my hand. It's my left hand. I watched his testimony today, and one thing I found that's very interesting is the hand doctor, the hand surgeon that was talking about how Johnny Depp's finger was ripped off. If I flick you off in this video, it's not intentional. It's just I think that was actually the finger that got cut off. So his entire testimony basically as an expert was that the nail wasn't damaged, so it definitely did not hit it from the top, right? So he did say it was a crushing injury. So it crushed the bone underneath here, and you could tell from the video it cut it basically from the edge of the nail there across this way. Pretty gaping wound right there. So his thought process, I guess, was that it couldn't have been laid down flat. So it was inconsistent with a top hit, he says. Now, one thing that's interesting to me is that if I look at my finger sideways, where is the top of my finger? Well, the top of my finger is the 50% of it up here, not the 50% down here. So if I'm saying it did not hit me on the top, then it must have hit me, or something must have hurt me down here. Now, just because this part is missing doesn't mean that's where the impact hit. So his logic was, if my hand's flat, then this is an impossible scenario. But one thing is interesting, if you look at my nail, that nail, I'm sorry if it's a little messed up or dirty or whatever, that nail does not cover the entire top of my finger. Interesting. So something could hit me right here on this corner, or on that corner, and actually would not damage the nail. Matter of fact, it may even rip that edge off without harming the nail. But that doesn't explain why Johnny Depp's finger was ripped all the way through this way if he got hit directly from the top. But Johnny Depp does explain this. He says he comes in from an angle. The bottle came in, let's say, from a 45 to 60 degree way. I've got a bottle right here. I'm not going to slam my finger into it, but if I had a bottle come in at this direction, it could possibly hit it from the side enough to crush it. But I don't even that is possible, but maybe unlikely. However, if you look at someone's hand, maybe they've got it curved over. I'm not going to have this curved over. I don't need to have it curved over, but let's just say I curved it over a desk like this. If you notice something right here, my finger's not flat on the table, but my hand is down. But my finger here is not flat nailed down because it's slightly turned to the side. So if you say your finger is down and your finger is sitting like this on the edge of a table, like if you didn't have it perfectly straight, it would be over the edge. Now there's plenty of room for a bottle to come at an angle and hit you directly in the side here, and you would consider that the top of your finger. Again, we're getting into a little bit of semantics where you might, a person who doesn't want to listen to this might say, oh, no, it's not the top, it's the side. Well, if you're in Washington or you're in New York, you're in the north. While yes, those are west and east are different, you're still in New York, you're still in the north. So a bottle could come in from the side and rip that off very easily without doing as much damage to the nail because it literally ripped it right where the nail edge was, and that's probably where the actual point of opening would be, and then it would continue to rip off if it was crushed out. It doesn't look like it came from the front. It could have come from the front, but neither of the scenarios in which they've said it could have happened, any of those seem like it came from the front. And it would take a ton of impact for something to come from the front this way, like looking into it, for it to break that bone. And if it did break that bone, I would think it would snap the bone backwards, not just split it in two. But again, just thinking about how this finger works out, it's very easy for it to be said that, yes, it was hit at the top. My hand was down. She threw something at the top of my hand. It hit me in the top of my hand and ripped that off. So that doctor either is willfully ignoring this potential testimony, or he just doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm willing to bet he's willfully ignoring it, which is actually worse, in my opinion, than him not know what he's talking about. But that's definitely a possibility to take this bottle here and throw that at me. And if it hits me right here in the side of this finger, it's going to rip that off. And also, when they were talking about the shards of glass, you have to think about this. A bottle isn't broken when it's thrown at you. It's broken after it hits you. It's also not broken immediately. The moment it strikes your finger, it's actually kind of going to crush through. Let's say even if we were talking about it on the top, it's going to go through that nail and it's going to crush this area. And if it's against a table, the table's not going to move. The bottle is stronger than your finger. Your finger's going to get crushed, hence a crushing injury. So as you get that crushing injury, the bottle's going to go hit the table through your finger, squish your finger or pinch it off even, hit that table, bounce off of that table, and then the vibration of the glass from that impact is what breaks the glass. So it hits this thing, this jarring nature of hitting the corner or the top of, let's say, a stone table, maybe it's marble, will actually vibrate this glass until it loses its integrity and shatters. That's how this breaks. So you probably would not see glass shards in a wound that was hit by a bottle like this. Look at how thick that glass is. It's not sharding out in little shards. It's probably breaking in pretty large chunks. But the bottom of that is going to crush, and then the top of this bottle is what's going to break first. That bottom probably is not even going to be broken, at least on this glass. Now, this isn't the same size. At least they were arguing this is a 750 milliliter. They were saying it was a handle. I don't know. But I will say this Mr. Understood ginger spiced whiskey is pretty good. So get you some.